All right, so this week is a little better than last week and the week before, but combined, what I ended up doing last week has more content. So we're going to quickly go through this. There's some stuff that continues on from last week and some interesting new announcements I think are really noteworthy. I do want to state for the record that by the time I am, of course, putting this up, Oblivion has come out, the Oblivion remaster. So anything I say about that news wise has already been it's done. It's over. I don't really need to talk about it. I am glad to see the remaster personally, just for new people to get into Oblivion. It's a fantastic game. Uh, while the remaster, I don't know, I do think Oblivion has enough heart and content to be worth it. I don't like the DLC idea they're doing at all, but that's getting very opinionated. That's another topic for another day. Let's get into actually the news for this week that I thought was interesting. We have Godzilla Games, which, if you don't know, is the off-the-grid devs. They are failing to honor promotional terms that they set back 6 months ago. In October 2024, Godzilla Games, in collaboration with popular Twitch streamers, launched a global PS5 Pro giveaway to promote Off the Grid. Now, the biggest problem with that statement right there is, of course, the global part. If you don't know, there's a lot more restrictions in other countries uh, than you would think, or just like having another country have a giveaway that then another citizen of said other country wins. It gets into a lot of stuff, uh, and they were contacted by, it looks like 10 winners, 10 people uh, that did not get their giveaway. And one of the biggest kind of statements by them is, if you can't deliver a global giveaway, don't host one, which I get it. They're very frustrated, but a global giveaway sounds better on paper and for advertisement than a limited giveaway, which is what a lot of like the PC ones you see, or a lot of the like game ones you see. They're usually United States, Canada, maybe they add Europe into the mix, or even Japan if it mixes well. Very rarely is it global. So, yeah, as said by somebody, another winner says they offered a global giveaway but didn't plan for global logistics. It's also entirely possible that they straight up just didn't know. But I don't know the history of Godzilla Games when it comes to giveaways, if this is their like first big one or what's the deal. But there's a lot of kind of proof about the issues. There's the update from the marketing team. There's updates from what looks like social media, and then there's also updates on Discord where there was a ticket. Uh, yeah, it's overall very, very frustrating, I'm sure, for the winners. And at the same time, we still don't have those 10 winners get their PS5 Pro. Now, one of the things I do want to look at here as we like go along, and maybe we'll hear more about this as time goes on, is I really want to know what the solution eventually becomes here, because it ultimately, like, this is bad faith, right? This is just a bad faith giveaway at this point. The affected winners are already pulling their evidence in small claims lawsuits, while urging gaming communities to rethink partnerships with this company, and it ultimately affects you in a wide variety of ways. Now, this is when you become pretty transparent as much as you can to fix this. If you are unable to straight up just give away the thing to the countries that won, uh, you have to be like, we lost, like, you have to save faith, right? You have to be transparent, and you have to be like, we tried, we gave our best effort, we did this, and you have to go along down the line of just apologies. Otherwise, I don't see how this is working out in Godzilla Games' favor at all. It's very important that you follow giveaways through, because the internet will eat you alive, and if this gains enough traction, it becomes a huge, and I mean huge problem. But that's something for another day. We have more talk about Nintendo's pricing. They released a updated pricing thing on their actual site, which is mostly focused on the fact that The Switch 2 pricing is staying the same, along with the Mario Kart World Bundle being the same. But the accessories have changed. Now, one of the cool people over at the Reddit, which is cool, actually kept track of this and made all the changes. You have the Pro Controller $80 to $85, which I'm gonna get into in a minute. But you have the Joy-Con 2 controllers being $90 to $95, the charging grips being $35 to $40, the straps being $13 to $14. The wheels set of 2 being $20 to $25. It basically goes up $5 besides a few things, but you have the Switch 2 camera $50 to $55. The dock set, which is includes the dock, AC adapter, USB-C cable, ultra high speed HDMI cable, 110 to 120. The carry case and screen protector, 34 to 40. All-in-one carry case, 79.85, and the Switch 2 AC adapter, 39 to 35. Now this is gonna be the kind of problem here is people don't know what these are actually made of, and the Switch 2 AC adapter is way too expensive in the first place, just in general. I'm gonna be the guy to say it. 29 bucks originally is stupid. 35 is, you're just stealing money. You're stealing money off people that only love Nintendo because they're dumb, like at that point. There's also the Joy-Con 2 controllers. One of the things is 90 bucks was already expensive, and raising it all 95. I get tariffs and all this political garbage are bringing it, but it, like, you're getting $90 for what is gonna be 2 mouse controllers, basically, which I don't know if you know this, but the SNES mouse does exist. So it's not exactly brand new technology. I get there's a lot more going into it, but when it comes to these controllers being the way they are, I feel a little, it's a little, what's the word? Predatory with what they're doing. The camera going up is also kind of weird because it looks like a camera that it's similar to a webcam. The dock itself I can kind of understand because there's a lot going into it. But even then, still a little weird. Screen protectors, I probably just the carrying case is the reason it goes up. The screen protector doesn't affect it. Yeah, so overall, the Pro Controller, by the way, being 80 bucks is also fucking stupid. I'm just gonna point that out. Anytime a controller is that much, don't buy it. Just don't buy it. This is really dumb. They did this. If you go back in history to the original Xbox, if you wanted an extra Xbox controller, it was like $70. It was $70 to pick up the Duke, and it quickly went down because nobody was buying an extra controller for even multiplayer games. They were not willing to pay $70. I think it ended up at 50. If I remember correctly, it went down. GameCube controllers also had this problem where the GameCube originally launched, and they thought they could make a lot more money off the GameCube controllers, and it quickly went down. I think they ended up at like 30 bucks, honestly, maybe a little lower, but yeah. Overall, I'm not very happy with how Nintendo is playing this, but I'm also not very happy with the situation. This is one of those things where it's like, well, you can't complain about Nintendo, and it's like, no, I'm complaining about both. I hate everybody involved in this. This is a bad thing for the consumer. It's a bad thing for people that really want to enjoy something for what it is, and it's for people that are hesitant. This is just going to kick them out. I will say that the price will stay the same for the console itself in the little bundle, but everything else is going up. The suggested retail price, by the way, is literally scam artist work. As of April 18th, they listed it for I think this is the United States ones, yeah. And the fact Donkey Kong Bonanza is $70 and Mario Kart World is $80, but the bundle means Mario Kart World is $50, is just a scam artist at work. I really hope people that are going to get the Switch 2, they are in the hype. I hope you really stop and consider not necessarily buying the game or the console. You do you. It's your choice, ultimately. But you stop and consider that legit, maybe this isn't the best best thing in the world. The Switch 2, I do think it looks to be a really standout console. I was very excited at launch. I think this pricing, this overall gimmick shit that they're trying to pull now, it's starting to feel very scummy. And I think as we get farther along, we'll probably see more of that, or we'll see them kind of backpedal a bit. I hope we see the latter, because, as I said, it looks very scummy. Next, we're going to go into happier news. We see a turn-based tactics games with a Star Wars Zero Company. It was announced at the Star Wars Celebration in Japan, and we got a official announcement trailer. But deliver a game with an original Star Wars story from the Clone Wars era that has meaningful outcomes from player choices and deep turn-based tactical combat with approachable and cinematic presentation. But overall, it will essentially be the Star Wars version of XCOM Enemy Unknown, and honestly, that sounds awesome. I love this idea. If you don't know, there's Gears of War Tactics, and that game, while I haven't played through much of it, I played very little of it, seems to be a fantastic way of kind of not necessarily bringing forth like the series again, but kind of just putting a new spin that isn't too harsh on it. Overall, I do think it looks pretty good. I think tactics games are starting to become very, very prominent as we go along, as some of the bigger games and bigger IPs get put into them. So we'll see what happens with this one. It's supposed to launch in 2026. Again, big problem. I hate announcements that are a year in advance or anything like this. But hopefully it launches like early 2026 and means that it's only like a 8-month wait. Because otherwise I hate this announcement. But overall, it looks good. Next we have a bit of a weird thing from Sony. So Sony had patented a new tech for what is known as like multiplayer, like threshold bans or whatever. Basically, that checks if the difference between player A and player B's performance is within acceptable range, called a threshold ban. What is an acceptable range? Who knows? Nobody really knows. It's based on global skill. Yeah. But it also says that the player may receive hidden advantages if they are bad to balance the fight. Could mean auto aim assistance, bullet spread changes. Overall, it basically just gets rid of a lot of the skill. And based on the patent, like how it determines this, it really just I don't agree with this. This is gonna be coming from somebody who never really had a problem being bad at games. But if you're bad at games, and you're upset because of it, don't play the game or get better. There's two options. My favorite option is always the one that gets skipped over. It's stop playing. Like, if you bought a game and you're really bad at it, take it back. Unless you're enjoying it. If you're enjoying the improvement phase, if you're enjoying game, like, just get better. Stop complaining. This is what happens. We get companies that are fucking stupid. Sony's just on a roll, by the way. And people are really backing Sony on a lot of shit. This is really annoying. But I think this is one. In this article, it describes it as a slippery slope. No, I think this is already past the slope. The slippery slope was already like matchmaking random people into like getting their multiplayer like skill and then putting them other skills, and then as they improve, putting them with other people that are at that skill level, and then if they go worse, they go back and forth. Like, ultimately, that was already the slippery slope, because it's just dishonest and it makes you feel better at the game, or maybe not having to improve correctly. And this one is just, you don't have to improve at all. So cool. Very, very dumb. Don't really like this. Sony at it again with stupid decisions. But what else is new? Speaking of dumb decisions, we have Marathon developer Bungie talking about just the game in general. It is a upcoming first-person extraction shooter. This was announced in 2023, I think, which, by the way, stupid that it was announced and we still haven't seen it yet. I'll keep mentioning it until one day video game companies figure it the hell out. But one of the things is that we haven't seen the pricing yet, and it's supposed to come out September 23rd, which is a lot of people's problems. But my biggest problem with this game is we've seen a lot of stuff of this game, and I have no idea about why the graphic quality of this game looks like this. It's not to say that it's like bad or anything, but this is like really colorful, and they haven't like touched on it at all. If you look at like Destiny 1 and 2, they aren't that colorful of games. There's areas with color, I'm not saying there isn't, but it feels very weird to have this, especially when you're referencing Marathon itself. Marathon is not the first thing that, comes to mind when it comes to Bungie, but it is still important when we talk about Bungie. And no price tag, and more importantly, just kind of the lack of, like, clarification in some of these areas. Like, the color looks really weird. I'm not exactly sure if I'm excited for this, but we'll see as we go along. I do want to state for the record, for people that are confused why the pricing hasn't been announced, you're going to probably see a lot of those in coming days, with a lot of the Switch 2 stuff, and more importantly, with a lot of games that are slowly making their ways to higher prices. They're probably looking to see how Grand Theft Auto and so on and so forth price their games, whether they're successful, whether there's backlash, and then they'll go forward, which is, of course, scummy, but welcome to video game development and these companies that want to make money more than make a good product. It's just the way it is, and ultimately, it's starting to become very disgusting out there. This is where I get into on my soapbox here. Recommendation for everybody involved. It's going to get more expensive. It's just going to get more expensive no matter where you are, no matter who you are. It's going to get more expensive. Make your decisions well. Don't be like the old days where you would buy 12 AAA games a year and play half of them and then play half at the beginning of the next year. No, ultimately, make sure you're paying for what you're going to play. It's not going to go to waste. And at the same time, check into indie games. I understand that a lot of people are like, I don't want to play indie games. I get it. But ultimately, they have some of the better content for your money. It's just the way to go. It's, as time goes on, it's something you need to check into. Also check into smaller developers in general that maybe aren't indie, but they have a smaller following, and they're much more like single A or double A games, because they usually are pretty fair. One thing I do want to state for the record, that Marathon's closed alpha starts on April 23rd, so we will see today, in fact, whether this gameplay actually is worthy of its time. But yeah, keep that in mind when we talk about pricing as we go forward, because the next few months, it's gonna get more expensive. But that's it for today. We had a very short day like usual. Not a lot of interesting stuff to really talk about, but hey, that's the way it be. Hopefully I see you guys next week with some better news, please, that will actually be interesting. So catch you then.